Hi, welcome to another session of ELLE Masterclass. I'm Mamta, ELLE's Beauty and Health Director, and today we're going to be talking about hair care. It's one of my favorite topics, and we're going to be talking about this with none other than Adhuna Bhabani, the founder and creative director of Bblunt. It's amazing, she's already. We're just waiting for her to join in. Just there. Hi.
Hi, Mamta. How are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Very well, thank you. Very well
You're
indeed.
right on time. I'm so excited. So I was just introducing our viewers to you.
Okay.
If you have one, you're right on time. So as everyone may know, Adhuna is the founder and creative director of Bblunt, a wonderful chain of salons and also a product line. And I hear there are more products coming up soon, I hope, to save us from the misery.
The misery of lockdown or the misery of our hair with this weather?
A little
A
bit
bit
of
of both.
both. Uh-huh. So let's jump right into it. Thank you so much for taking the time to do this. I know salons are opening up right now and you're super busy. So maybe let's start with what are some of the issues that people are coming to you with at salons? You know, after lockdown, everyone's been away for a while.
Yeah. So just to clarify, our Bombay stores are not open yet, unfortunately. We are just waiting with bated breath for that event to happen. Um, Really, really, and Bangalore and our South stores have opened. In the initial couple of weeks, there were a lot of people obviously wanting to cover up their gray hair, haircuts, hair removal. Those kind of emergencies or essentials were the top of the bill, I think, and. It's a little bit up and down. I think people are still a little bit wary of going out, going to salons, figuring out what's going on. Um, Having said that, it's been great where we have been able to be open again. We had a tough time of it, to be honest. The whole hairdressing and beauty community is, I know everybody is, but I think it's just never ending, it seems.
That's true. So maybe you can help us with some advice on how to take care while we're still waiting for salons to open in Mumbai. So as you know, it's summer, almost monsoon in Mumbai.
Yeah.
What are some of the things that we can do to take care of our hair during this time? I know scalp health is a major issue. So what are the best practices to maintain good scalp health?
So one of the things that I think is very important for scalp, and a lot of people don't seem to necessarily realize this, but your scalp is just an extension of your skin. Okay, your hair grows out of your scalp, and the scalp is basically an extension of the skin. So maintaining a healthy scalp as much as you can would provide the best environment for your hair to grow and flourish. So you can do it in a couple of different ways. If there are any particular scalp concerns, then maybe you would need to look at changing this up slightly according to the individual. But the general health and well-being of your scalp can be covered off by working with the right shampoo, because the shampoo is literally designed to cleanse the hair and scalp. So I always try to look at care of the hair and scalp in the same way we approach a beauty regime, like a skincare regime. So cleanse, tone, moisturize. Okay, if there are 3 steps to maintaining a healthy skin, then the same can be applied to your hair. So the shampoo for cleansing the scalp, the conditioner for it would be equivalent to your toner or sort of conditioning, protecting the hair, and then nourishing the hair, could be with a styling product, could be with a leave-in conditioner. So all of these three elements work towards maintaining a healthy scalp and hair.
Mm-hmm.
In Mumbai particularly, we see quite a lot of dry, dehydrated scalp, and which often appears flaky and sometimes gets mistaken for being dandruff. So there is a difference between a dehydrated scalp and a dandruff condition. So dandruff sounds quite awful, but it's a little yellowish in color, true dandruff, and it kind of to the hair. So you now notice a flakiness of the scalp. It's more likely to be down to either a dehydrated scenario, so you can moisturize the scalp, or it could be that there's something lacking in the diet, because your hair and scalp, I think, definitely reflects what is going on inside as well. So scalp massage is really good. I'm not somebody who really believes that oil is the be all and end all of scalp. I'm more of the thought process that the action of the massage, when you massage your scalp in a circular motion, that stimulates the blood flow, and it is that feeds the root of your hair. So therefore, if you can move the flow of the blood to the root, then that will help to promote healthy hair growth.
So that's pretty easy for scalp. But a lot of people also delay hair washing, or they wash the hair very often. Which, do you think that aggravates hair issues as well? Because people who have oily scalp and fine or flat hair often deal with issues of very greasy scalp that they probably wash every day.
So you can try, if for somebody with that particular need, somebody who's got fine, naturally oily hair, you can look at a couple of different things. There is one quick fix that I think works really well for those kind of people, and it's sort of a product that every girl should have in their handbag, I think, and that's the dry shampoo. At Bblunt, we have a product called Back to Life Dry Shampoo, and it's very easy to use. It says shake the can, spray it on at the root area, massage it through for a couple of minutes, and then just go as normal. It's a quick fix. It's not a sort of a replacement for your shampoo and conditioner. It is, however, something that for this particular kind of person with this particular kind of issue, if they're a busy person, if they're out and about, if they've got a hectic lifestyle, then something like this can be great for that person. I would also recommend maybe trying a different kind of shampoo. If you are somebody who's got particularly oily scalp and you feel that you have to shampoo every day, if you try a different shampoo, you can maybe get away with going a day and a half or 2 days, if need be. The thing is that I think what's happened with this whole COVID pandemic is the fact that we need to cleanse more regularly from head to toe. So I would say maybe try and shampoo more frequently now. Earlier, I wouldn't have said that, but I would say it definitely now. And I think that it's been a bit more, I think it's, just because of the situation that we are in. So a different kind of shampoo, like a volumizing shampoo for somebody who's got oily or fine hair, can work really well in those circumstances. And it's a matter of trial and error. It's not, unfortunately, that one thing fits for everybody, because everyone is different. Everyone's needs are different. Everyone is unique in how they want to wear their hair, what is their natural texture. So, I could have oily straight hair, I could have oily wavy hair also, so it just depends on the individual, and I think that's where it sometimes becomes confusing, where you have to kind of look at different combinations of products that work for you as an individual. I would highly recommend somebody with fine, oily hair to try the Bblunt range, a volumizing range. It is really nice, and it can help to control the oil as well.
There was a question earlier about dry shampoo causing flaking. What is that person doing wrong? Because it's not supposed to cause flaking.
Yeah. So it depends which brand of product you use. Some of the brands of products we noticed when we were designing our products, we noticed as we researched the products in the market that there are some dry shampoos that have a white, powdery kind of residue that gets left in the hair. So I think that must be what this question is referring to. Maybe they're using too much product. The other thing to do is when you apply a dry shampoo, if you lift up the hair and kind of spray it in at the root area, because that's where the issue is, and then leave it for a couple of minutes so that the product gets the chance to do the job it's supposed to do. And again, massaging that product in so it's really able to soak up all the oil and impurities that are left in the hair. Does that answer the question? I hope so.
I think so. I think the key with dry shampoo is to let it rest before you actually work it into
and then work with the hair. Yes, absolutely.
And what about frizzy hair? Frizz is the biggest concern for most Indian women. I have frizzy hair. It's a constant battle. Your hair is either too frizzy or too dry. What can you do besides using the right shampoo? What are some practices that you can do to maybe minimize this frizz?
So there's a little bit of a philosophy or a theory, if you don't mind me explaining that first. So if you've got straight hair, I might just draw a quick diagram, because if you if you have straight hair, I'm going to just show you a couple of diagrams. So you've got straight, can you see? Yeah. Straight, wavy hair and curly hair.
Yeah.
Now, natural oil, when it comes out of your scalp, it's very easy to travel down a smooth surface. It becomes more difficult to travel down a wavy surface, and it becomes even more difficult to travel down a curly surface. So this person, like you, would possibly, never really feel the benefit of the natural oils coming through the hair. Whereas this person could be that person we've just talked about, who is
with the greasy scalp.
Hair. So if you look at the way in which the natural oils are allowed to naturally travel down the length of the hair, you will always find that wavy and curly hair does need extra moisture. So the kind of products that you choose to use could be moisture intense, basically. So we have a range at Bblunt which is called Intense Moisture, and it is specifically for this. And we also mix and match a lot of the products in different ways. So whether it's Bblunt product or whether it's some other brand or product that you're happy to work with, I think it's important to try different things with your products. So shampoo and conditioner is fairly straightforward. You know, what you could do with your conditioner maybe once or twice a week, if you are somebody who has particularly dry hair, you can shampoo the hair as normal, towel dry before you apply your conditioner, and then take the conditioner, and apply liberal amounts of conditioner through what's more the middle lengths and ends of the hair, because that's where the hair is normally most damaged and most in need of moisture and in need of some love. Heated tools, all that kind of thing that we might use on our hair. Even just stepping outside, not anymore, but in the sun that we have in Bombay or across the country. We don't think about protecting the hair very often. So I'll come to that in a little while. But one sort of a hair hack that you can do at home to give yourself almost like a mini spa treatment. Apply the conditioner through the lengths and ends of your hair. wrap the hair in a hot towel and leave it for as long as you can. And the heat will actually help the product to penetrate more deeply into the hair. And that will give you a nicer feeling. It will feel nourished. It will feel more moisturized. And if you do that, maybe a couple of times in a week or in a month, however much you can spare the time, it's a really nice feeling. And I would recommend anybody who's missing their salon spas to try that at
Good
home.
acne treatment.
The
That's
other
nice.
Yeah, the other thing you can do, the third product in the range is called Intense Moisture Serum. So the Intense Moisture Serum can be used as a regular serum, applied in the normal way, either on damp hair or on dry hair, wherever you prefer. The other thing that you can do is mix the serum with a little bit of another product that we have called Climate Control. Now, so you have this beautiful head of curly hair from what I can see through my camera. And there are many different types of curly hair, as you would probably know.
Yeah.
So from fine texture, fine density curly hair, right through to very, very thick, coarse curly hair. So the amount of product that you use is really determined by the density of your hair. So I think what you can do is try working with Climate Control. It's a product that is great for all hair types, and it's conditioning and protecting as you go. Okay, so very, very few products have UV filters. This one is why I recommend it as a universal product, whether you've got straight hair, wavy hair, curly hair. And if your hair is extra dry and curly, you can use the Intense Moisture Serum mixed in or layered with your Climate Control leave-in cream. And it'll give you, different quantities for different hair types. So less oil if your hair's finer, more oil if your hair is thick and coarse. A guide, a rule that you can use. These are really solutions for the frizz, because Climate Control will help you to control the frizz. It will help you to enhance your natural movement in your hair. And then if you've got really curly hair, a little bit of an aside, you can try HD Curl, because that helps to control the frizz as well. But it's more of a styling product.
So I really have a fan for Climate Control in the viewers.
Oh, we do?
So fabulous.
By the bucket load. It's great on hair. It's great on, my sister's hair who's got thicker curly hair than me. It's a brilliant product for all hair, for all seasons. I mean, it's one of my favorites from our range.
A lot of people usually complain about dullness, especially now since they're not visiting salons and getting their regular spa treatments. What would you recommend for shine? Is this something everyone should worry about? Because hair shine is basically a reflection of hair health, right?
Right. And not only your hair health, but it's also a reflection of your internal health as well. So it depends, there are times of the year I feel when we maybe sort of spend more time outdoors, maybe in summer when, we have harsher weather conditions. These are the times that we do notice a dullness if the hair is particularly exposed to the elements for extended periods of time. So again, Climate Control is a great tool for that because it contains UV filters. So whether you're in the summer or whether you're in the monsoon, Climate Control is going to work for you. There is a product that we also have called Shine Spray, which is with Spotlight Shine Spray. It gives a gloss and a shine to the hair if you're going out and you like that kind of a finish. But you can also look at vitamin E, which is very good for the hair and the skin. Obviously, I'm not promoting taking vitamins. I'm not a doctor, but you could consult with your doctor about that. Either applied vitamin E, either applied topically to your hair and scalp or to your skin can work. It just depends on each individual case, but for shine, for added shine, you could use a spotlight shine spray. You could use an intense moisture serum, or you could approach from the inside out as well. So three ways. You can approach externally, and it's just a surface, kind of effect until the next shampoo. Or you can work from the inside out as well.
Are there any masks that you can apply on your hair for shine? I know there are lots of masks for conditioning it and increasing volume, but is there something that you'd recommend for shine?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of options on the market today for shine. I mean, in our range at Bblunt, we have the Spotlight Shine Spray, which isn't a conditioner; it's a after blow dry spray. But across the salon, we work with many different brands, and each of those brands has a different solution for shine. You will find that most conditioning treatments or most conditioning masks will add a lot of shine to your hair. If for some reason the hair is not holding on to that, it might be that you need to look at approaching in a different way. Maybe a haircut's required. Maybe there's a lot of split ends. So, and if there's a lot of color or previous chemical treatments in the hair, then maybe the hair doesn't look as glossy and shiny and lustrous. So you need to compensate for that, by the products that you choose to use. So if your hair is dry and damaged and you want it to look shiny, I would say process of elimination. Look at what it is that you want, what is your priority, and if it's the color or some other chemical treatment that's making it look dull, what's more important to you? Sometimes we get clients in the salon and they'll say, I want to do this and I want to do that and I want to do the other, but I want it to be shiny, like as if my hair, was when I was 10 years old. And we have to decide on what is our priority or what is the client's priority. And by process of elimination, try to work out what's best. Like I said, it's not, that one product fits everybody. It depends on what your individual need is. How do you like to style your hair? How do you like, I'm somebody who likes to wash and wear. So the concept of climate control works really well for me. But if I'm going out somewhere or I'm doing something special and I need to blow dry, then I need something that gives me more holding power, and the way in which you style your hair can also add extra gloss. Just simple little tips, like if you're somebody who uses your hairdryer at home, just try and make sure that your nozzle of the hairdryer is always pointing in the downwards direction, so that it follows what's happening in the hair, so that it smoothens the hair, and that gives a nicer shine and finish to the hair.
There was a question on dealing with split ends while you're at home in quarantine. Would you recommend trimming them yourself?
This has been the burning question during this lockdown. We've had lots of people talk to us actually about, I've had friends of mine call me, can you tell me how to cut my hair at home? Split ends is something that you can, I think lots of people with long hair, you can literally pick up the hair and you can see the split ends. If you have the patience to sit there and just snip off each one, then you're more of a man than I'll ever be. But it would be a very tedious process to sit there and just snip off all. So as a regime, as a hair care regime, I would definitely recommend trimming or addressing your haircut every 6 to 8 weeks. Obviously, we're not in a position to be able to do that in the lockdown. It's prevention over cure. Sometimes with split ends, there is nothing else that will cure it than a pair of scissors, unfortunately. Because what happens with each and every hair on your head splits, right? Eventually, if you don't take care of it or you don't cut it off, it will split. And when it splits, it will travel all the way up to the root. And you will not be able to get rid of that split end until that individual hair falls out. So every hair on your head goes through a 7-year life cycle. Okay. And during
just like all the way down.
yeah.
I'm thinking by one is probably here.
Sorry, I couldn't hear you properly.
Oh no, 7 years is a lot.
7
So
years.
you're saying 7 years
7
by
years.
the time it falls out.
And I think that a lot of people maybe don't understand that each individual hair on your head lives for approximately 7 years. During that 7 years, it goes through 3 phases of its life cycle. So there is the first phase, which is the growing phase. The second phase is the resting phase. And the third phase, the falling phase. So because we have so many hairs on our head, we don't really see or notice that falling or, and so if you don't catch that individual hair with your haircut, on a regular basis, then it's going to keep on splitting till it goes all the way up, and you won't be able to get rid of it unless you pick it out and cut it over here. And then if you start cutting your hair over here, you'll end up with your hair just kind of out all over. So it's not very nice. So I think the best way to approach, I think a lot of people talk about skincare and manage to stick to skincare and makeup and those kind of rituals very, very well. And people always let their hair a little bit, I think. So it is my job, my life's work to really inform people about treating the hair or approaching your hair care in a similar way to you approach your skincare.
Yeah.
So
I'd like to say what you said about the 3 stages of hair. We had a question as well that kind of explains hair fall. So it's, and like we know, it's pretty normal to have about 80 to 100 strands of hair fall every day. Yeah. But a lot of people are stressing about it during the lockdown, I guess, because we're all at home, and every day, every time you touch your hair and you see a clump fall out. I mean, do you think
there's a way to sort of gauge it? There are a couple of things that can affect hair fall, excessive hair fall. So if we approach this thought in knowing that every 7 years one hair is going to fall out, and average hair fall is 100 to 150 hairs per day is average hair fall. So I think a lot of people maybe that are used to going to the salon to get their hair shampooed, maybe or blow dried, maybe don't realize normally that they are losing that much hair every day. Now that we're at home doing everything ourselves, we realize that, oh God, there's so much hair falling out. But there's a couple of reasons why that might be. Somebody with curly hair like you, maybe you don't brush your hair out.
Yeah. Just so it falls out when you brush it.
Look frizzy, right? So somebody with curly or wavy hair that doesn't brush their hair very often would say when you shampoo your hair, you'll see it all come out then. All the loose hairs will come out when you shampoo. And you'll see them all going down your plug hole, and that'll stop worrying you. And especially if the hair's longer, it looks like a lot. It looks a lot more because each individual hair is longer. Couple of things that can cause hair fall, obviously stress-related issues, maybe a dramatic change in diet, for example, or even, very strong medication. Suppose you've had some kind of an illness, strong medication can sometimes cause hair fall, stress, shock. These are the things that we normally kind of talk to our clients about. I think one good way of being able to judge, am I having excessive hair fall or is it just normal hair fall? When you wake up in the morning, have a look how much hair is on your pillow.
Oh, interesting.
That should give you a guide, because if it's coming out just like, while you're sleeping or resting on the pillow, then maybe you need to start looking a little deeper. And I would recommend to speak with your GP, to speak with a trichologist, you know, if you've explored the couple of things that I've told you about already, like any strong medication, any dramatic change in diet, you know, stress-related issues, shock, these can cause dramatic hair fall. But essentially, look at the hair that's on your pillow when you wake up in the morning, and that should help you.
Trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
So you don't have to stress about it because everyone's like, hair's falling, it's too dry. Everyone's trying a lot of DIY hair masks. And do you think one of the reasons for hair fall could be a lot of friction on your scalp? Maybe you're scrubbing your scalp too hard or you're brushing it too hard. Do you think that could cause hair fall or breakage?
Working with the scalp will stimulate the blood flow, so that shouldn't ordinarily cause hair fall. Yeah, it shouldn't. Excessive brushing or any stimuli to the scalp would promote the blood flow to feed the root of the hair, and that would be good for the hair. It would not be detrimental to the hair at all.
There was a question about straightening and keratin treatments. Would you recommend those?
No. Simple. No.
I mean, I can see you embracing your natural texture, which is amazing. And I hope more people embrace it. But maybe explain a little bit as to why.
I love curly hair. I love natural hair. I feel the way at Bblunt that we work with the hair, we like to work with the natural fall of the hair, the natural texture of the hair. If we work with it in that way, the clients will see more a benefit to themselves. It will be easier to manage if you, if you work with what's happening naturally. I personally, though we do these services in our salon, I personally don't like them. I don't like to, chemical straightening is firstly breaks down the hair, the inner core of your hair. It breaks it down by about 80%. So whatever natural vitality was there in your hair before the straightening process, it dramatically changes after straightening. So while the illusion looks amazing, until that hair starts growing out again, it's fine. But then when the hair starts growing out again is when people always come back to us and say, now what can I do now? Which is why I always would counsel a client before they do the straightening process and say, this is what will happen after. Okay, so I think there are other ways in which you can smoothen, in which you can take care of your hair. It means a little bit more work from you, but in the longer term, more healthy for your hair. And it doesn't restrict you then if you want to change your hair. Because what happens, and we've seen this time and time and time again over the years, somebody will go and get a chemical straightening done in their hair, and they will love it while it's done, and then they'll start growing out, and they'll come back and they'll say to us, like, what can I do with this now? The only option, they keep reverting back to just straightening the root area. And then over a period of time, treatment is laid upon treatment is laid upon treatment, and the hair quality suffers. So I am not a big fan of chemical straightening at all. The product companies will probably be very unhappy with me for saying that, but it's a personal taste. It's personal taste.
That's true.
It's different strokes for different folks, and I also do understand when you get when a client very coarse, frizzy textured hair, and they want to be able to manage their hair more easily. These are the circumstances where I would maybe look at saying, okay, I'll work with you on this and help you,
like you said, personal choice.
Yes.
There's a question from Diana about, do you have to change your shampoo depending on the weather and climate you're in? Just like skincare, like when in summer you use a lighter formula, do you follow the same with hair care as well?
So you can, the thing is that if you have a hair concern, For example, if my concern this month is dry hair, let's say, and I am, and I buy a product that is for that concern. Okay. So ideally, that product should be helping my concern. Okay. If it's not, then either I can try a different product in a similar way, or I can say, my hair is just too dry and I need to get rid of some of this hair first and create a new canvas for the product to work. Also, you know, it's like when you go to the doctor, if the doctor prescribes you a course of antibiotics and eventually the problem goes away. Similarly with your shampoo and conditioner, if you're working with a great product and it's working for you, the problem will become lesser and lesser. So you would need to change the products that you're using after a period of time. You know, some people work with the same product year in and year out, and some people change up. So I think, again, it's about personal taste, and it's about what is your individual need at that point in time. You know, if I have a certain kind of hair texture and I want it to look a certain way, I'll need to use different products and tools to help me get there. Am I making sense?
Yes, you are. I think this is making a lot of sense. I was just going through my questions to see if there's anything that's left out, but you've answered more than I could have asked. So thank you so much for joining us, taking the time for this, and I hope everyone's got their questions answered. We're going to be saving this to our IGTV in case anyone wants to go back and, you know, just, understand what Adhuna had to say. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, and thanks to everyone who joined us. Take care, Mamta.
Take care. Bye.
Bye-bye.